Hey folks, what's going on? This is the Teutonic Plague, as you're probably well aware, and recently I saw a video uploaded. I saw a video made by one Ka Pizzle. Now, anyone who knows me and anyone who has any degree of familiarity with the channel knows who Ka Pizzle is, I'm going to assume. But let's go around talking about this subject matter here. Folks, I saw an excellent video by Ka Pizzle, and granted, all the content that Pizzle puts out is excellent. It's solid content. But this video, even though I'm not a Giants fan, I mean, everybody here, I'm going to assume, knows that I root for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, these guys, these folks on my hat, this team is the team I root for on my hat and my shirt. Philadelphia Eagles. But, you know, anyone who knows this channel, anyone who knows, sheesh, okay. Hard bag to open, you son of a bitch. Anyone who has any type of history with watching this channel, and anyone who has any kind of, you know, basically anyone who has a history with this channel, turn the burner on, knows what I think of Ka Pizzle. They know what my attitude towards this man is, and basically it's, for those of you that don't, it's, I like the man, I like his content, but I hate his team. He's a Giants fan, and of course I fucking hate the Giants. They suck, right? And they're absolute garbage this year. I'm sorry. I need to say it. The Giants are trash this year. And he talked about how Giants fans need to be passionate like, he actually paid me a high compliment. He didn't mention me by name, but he mentioned Eagles fans and how passionate we are, and he said that we're nuts, which, yeah, Pizzle, you're right. If you're watching this, you're right, Pizzle, we're nuts. And he's saying that Giants fans need to be like Eagles fans. And you know what, Pizzle? You're right. The Giants fan base, with a few exceptions, is absolutely disgraceful. And Ka Pizzle, if you're watching this, you're one of the exceptions, and that's why I got the respect for you like a son of a bitch, man. But this video is pretty much an answer, pretty much a response to Ka Pizzle's video, and it's something that I covered when we lost to the Jets, when I did my post game for the Jets loss. I told you all the story of how I became an Eagles fan, but I want to go a little deeper tonight. I want to go a little deeper because now that my voice has been nursed back to health, you know, now that my voice is back and it's in full effect, now I can do some explaining. And of course, I can't yell and I can't go nuts because it's after midnight, and you know, I'm in my apartment. I got neighbors. You know, I got neighbors, and I got neighbors, and I got neighbors. So, and of course, we don't want to piss off the neighbors, because you piss off the neighbors, that's bad. I hear one of them moving around upstairs, so I know at least one of them's awake, but I'm going to keep it down. I gotta keep it down. I can't go nuts here. And now you know the reason. You've probably known the reason for a while. And it's the reason I don't do videos in my place, folks, because Pizzle's right. We're nuts. And when we win, I'm really happy. And when we lose, I'm really, really fucking upset. And that's why I do these videos in my car. The post-game videos in my car. That's why you usually see me in my car, yelling and screaming and carrying on, because that's really the only place I can do it. Because if I yell in my apartment, then the neighbors are going to have something to say about it. It'll piss them off. The landlady's going to have something to say about it, and it's going to piss her off. And I might, I don't want to run the risk of being kicked the fuck out. All right? But this isn't for that. This isn't for going nuts. This is in response to Cop Pizzle's video, and it's not only to tell Cop Pizzle, yeah, Pizzle, you're right, you got a point. This, that, the other. Although he is right, and he does have a point. Giants fans need to act more like fans and less like naysayers. It's the same issue I have with these fake Eagles fans over here, these naysayers, these people that are saying the Philadelphia Eagles can't do it, even though we continue to do it. They don't see what's right in front of them. It's kind of like that. But I want to share my personal journey. I want to share something I shared in the post-game video against the Jets that maybe some people missed, maybe some people didn't watch. I mean, I know not everybody's going to be interested in this video because Plague's being sappy, he's telling his life story. We don't come to your channel for that, Plague. We don't come to your channel for that. But folks, anyone who knows the Plague knows that if the Plague has something to say, then the Plague will fucking say it. All right? And what the Plague has to say is an answer to a question that some of you may have asked. I don't know who, I don't know if anybody asked this, but I'm fairly certain at least one person has. I'm pretty sure that at least one person has sat down and thought about the channel, my channel, and the content that I produce. And they asked themselves, why is the Plague an Eagles fan? Why does he root for this team when he doesn't live anywhere near Philly and he lives outside the state of Pennsylvania? What made the Plague an Eagles fan? How did he get that way? Well, I'll tell you. After I take a sip of this eggnog, only really comes around once a year. I mean, I know a store that sells it year-round, but fucking eggnog. It's amazing. Never mind. Fuck. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that how I became an Eagles fan. So, I am at this point a 30-year-old man. I've been on this planet for 30 years. And I spent about 20 of those years, two-thirds of my life, as a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. And the way I became an Eagles fan is, folks, I'm a curious guy. You may not know this about me, but I hold a bachelor's degree in basically what amounts to microbiology. It's a microbiology degree in all but name, with a chemistry minor attached to that. So I went to college. So I'm a smart guy, and on top of being a smart guy, I'm a curious guy. I've always been a curious guy. Of course, nowadays my bailiwick is more history. I've always been a history buff. I've always been a student of history. Other kids hated history class, and I thought it was the shit because history reads like a good story. But I get it. I'm getting sidetracked here. What I'm trying to say is I've always been a curious guy. I'm a curious man now, but before I was a curious man, I was a curious boy. I was a curious kid. And my grandparents, when I was living with them, I was 9 years old, 10 years old. And my grandmother, she likes English Plague. She likes crime drama programs. She likes to flip on Law and Order and Criminal Minds and CSI, that kind of shit, right? So she's watching this episode of this crime drama program. I don't know what it is. I can't remember. It was back in 2003 or 2002, like early 2000s, right? and she is. I mean, I'm still a little hoarse. That's why my voice is cracking. It's kind of back, but it's kind of hoarse too. So I'm sorry if I sound like a pimply faced pubescent brat. But that's I'm still. I don't know. My voice isn't. It's back, but it's not all the way back. But folks, she's watching this episode of this crime drama program, and one of the characters mentions, the Eagles. He says something about the Eagles, and the other person's like, what? And he's like, yeah, the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. And, he sings a little bit of the fight song, and I'm like, hold on a second. Fly, Eagles, fly. Is that a real fight song for like a real team? So I get on the computer, right? This is early 2000s. The internet is young. It's a thing, but it's young. It's not like at the point it is now, right? But I go on to Google and I search for Fly Eagles Fly, and I find out it's a real fight song for a team called the Philadelphia Eagles. And I said, my follow-up to that was, all right, who are the Philadelphia Eagles? And so I look up Philadelphia Eagles. And oh my god, it's shrimp scampi. It's amazing. Dinner is shrimp scampi by Bertolli. If you like didn't see the bag, if I just put this in front of you, you'd swear up and down it was home fucking made. It's that good. Fucking buy that shit, folks. It's like $7 a pop. $7 a bag. I usually get 2 bags, but because I got a bit of a voracious appetite because my job is very physical, but I keep getting sidetracked, and I'm sorry, folks. But the point is, I look up the Philadelphia Eagles, and these people are, of course, I find out they're a real team. They play football. All right. Here's their logo. Here's their word mark. And here's their team colors. And I even saw a picture of the uniform. And one of the things that kids like, especially boys, when they're young, they like things that look cool to them. And of course, the midnight green and white, and the eagle that like pops out at you, looks all angry, like he's gonna eat you, and the word mark, it all resonates with me. It all strikes a chord, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna follow this team, and I start out as a casual fan. Because I had no one to introduce me to the sport. I had no one to introduce me to the concept of rooting for a team. So my thought process was, I like the Philadelphia Eagles, the way their uniforms look. So basically, I was betting on the jockey that had the snappiest outfit and the cleanest horse. Was basically where my head was. But I was a kid. And I didn't know how football was played. So I enter middle school, and it's like I'm still in the I'm still in the snappy jockey with a clean. I'm still in the snappiest jockey cleanest horse stage. Because in middle school, I mean, I like the Eagles, but I don't particularly jump up and down over sports. But when middle school ends and I enter high school, I decide I want to know how football's played. If I'm going to root for a team, maybe I should know the game. So so one of the things I like to do as a curious individual, and one of the things I like to do is that when I was a curious kid, was I like to ask questions, right? So I go to these football coaches and I'd ask questions like, how do you play football? And they're like, oh, what, do you want to join the team? I'm like, no, not, I don't want to particularly join the team. I just want to know about the game because I like this. There's a team that I like, the Philadelphia Eagles. And the coaches, they say, okay, and they tell me a little bit about how football's played. And then I watch, my high school team play some games. and I kind of get it, kind of don't. And then, I start to get it, and I start to realize, okay, so the team with the ball is the offense. They got 4 tries to go 10 yards. They're called downs. If they succeed in going 10 yards within their 4 tries, then they get a fresh set of downs. It rolls over. It's first down all over again. And of course, a touchdown's worth 6 points. A field goal's worth 3. Blah blah blah. I'm sure most of you know how football's played. I might do a football 101 in another video, but this isn't for that. And that's when I start becoming interested in the football, and that's kind of when I start watching Eagles games, because once I know how the game is played, then I know, then I know what's going on the screen. But back when but until that point it was, if the Eagles win, great. If they don't, fuck. All right? And I really didn't jump up and down either way because I was a casual fan back then. But when I really started to hit my stride in college. All right? And that's when I started watching my college play football. Now, we were a small school. And as I said in my videos, everybody knew I was an Eagles fan. And, but because even though I didn't have any Eagles swag to show for my fandom, because my family wasn't really into football, so they didn't really buy into the hype. So I never got any Eagles swag, right? And then my grandparents retired, and all of a sudden it's, we're too poor to afford Eagles swag. We don't have the money. We gotta, we're retired. We gotta pull on our belt a little bit. But what happened was, everybody knew I was an Eagles fan anyway, because I broadcast throughout the school, loud and proud. I like the Eagles. I like the Eagles. I root for the Philadelphia Eagles. Who's your team? I like the Eagles. And I got my first pick, but what really locked me in, what really, I shouldn't say locked me in, but what made me decide to become the YouTuber I am today was when the Eagles won Super Bowl 52. I go to the Super Bowl watch party. I watch the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I see one Patriots fan wearing Patriots gear, and I think, now there's a fan. He's like literally preparing a table in the presence of the enemy. He is loving on his team the best way he knows how. Now, I hope the Eagles grind his team into the dust, but there's a real fan right there. And then I'm looking for reactions. I'm on YouTube, right? I'm looking for reactions to the Super Bowl. What did everybody think? What did everybody do? What did everybody say? And that's when I run into Cop Pizzle. That's when I'm introduced to Pizzle. The first Cop Pizzle video I ever watched was when he did the Eagles are Super Bowl champs video after Super Bowl 52. And he went on about this Giants commercial that really pissed him off, right? And on top of that, the Eagles won the Super Bowl, right? And I think, you know what? That's something I want to do. I want to take the Teutonic Plague persona that I have. Because, folks, I was the Teutonic Plague before I started doing Eagles content. It was kind of my internet moniker. It was kind of my internet persona. I'd call into this radio show, this online radio show that I really liked as the Teutonic Plague. I'd be serious. I'd troll. Whatever struck my fancy. So it was my internet persona. And you know what? That's when I decided that I want to take the Teutonic Plague name. And I want to branch off into sports content like this guy, like Cop Pizzle's doing. Because if he can do it, and he's really, really good at what he does, then I can do it too and be really, really good at what I do, at least given some practice. And folks, I've been doing this since Super Bowl 52. I've been doing this for 6 years now, thereabouts. And for those of you that say, oh, you haven't gotten any better since then, Plague, you're another ADP, you're cringe. Screw ADP. all right? And screw the haters, all right? What I'm trying to say is this. I've been an Eagles fan for a long goddamn time. I've been an Eagles fan for 2 decades. I've been an Eagles fan through the ups, through the downs. And Cop Hizzle, basically, he made the plague. I'm going to come right out and say it. This guy made the plague into what he is today. All right? That's one of the reasons I have a lot of respect for Cop Hizzle. So, if you come into, if you come into my channel, you can talk your shit. You can talk shit about the Eagles. You can talk shit about me. But, if by some chance you'll wind up talking shit about Cop Hizzle, I'm going to draw the fucking... That's where I'm going to draw the fucking line. Don't talk shit about Pizzle. You got something to say to Pizzle, you go over to his channel, you say it to his face. All right? Because Cop Hizzle is the reason that I even have a YouTube channel. Cop Hizzle's the reason that I'm even doing these post-game videos, that I'm even here right now talking to you folks. So, Pizzle, I tip my cap to you. Take my hat off to you, sir. Thank you for, making me the fucking Philadelphia Eagles YouTuber that I am today. Just making me the Philadelphia Eagles YouTuber that I am today. I'll be honest, my earlier videos are a little cringy. Some might say a lot cringy, but, the more you practice, the better you get. And I've been practicing for 6 years, so I think I know a thing or two or three or 100 or 1,000 about doing this shit, all right? So I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to sign off now so I can eat this fucking shrimp scampi because the temptation's too great. I can't fucking fight it anymore. But, Pizzle, wherever you are, thank you. Hey, just thank you. I mean, our teams may be rivals, man, but I'll always have mad respect for you, man. Nothing but respect for you. Nothing but respect for your family. And speaking of family, I want to take this opportunity to go ahead and wish everybody happy Thanksgiving, man. Happy Thanksgiving. You enjoy the time you have with your family, and you eat some turkey, and, after the meal's over, you bum some leftovers off of your family. All right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the Thanksgiving meal at one family member's house, and then I'm going to go on over the day after Thanksgiving to another family member's house, and I'm going to probably, give them the old puppy dog eyes and beg for some leftovers. Because you know what? I can't get enough of Thanksgiving fare, folks. I mean, turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, green bean cat, you know this fucking score. But I'm going to kill this video because talking about Thanksgiving is making me extremely hungry, and I'm fucking ravenous as it stands right now. So the plague is going to eat dinner now. So, happy Turkey Day. Thank you for watching this video, bearing with me as I explain my journey and how I became the Eagles fan that I am, and how I, spawned this YouTube channel, and just the vast influence that Cop Hizzle has had on my YouTube, on the YouTube channel as a whole. I know you can say all you want, but you can say that, all you want about how I'm a rip off of Cop Hizzle, or how it's, my channel is all pizzle sucking, and, you're just sitting over here blowing his whistle, shit like that. You can say what you want, you can think what you want, but the long and the short of it is, I'll always have respect for Cop Hizzle, and I'll always have respect for you, Cop Hizzle, because you know what, you made the plague. But I gotta sign off now because I gotta eat. So I'll see you. The next time I'll see you guys is probably it'll probably be in the post game video against the Bills. So. I guess I'll see you Sunday, Monday, somewhere in there, beginning of next week. Happy Turkey Day, everybody.